A slice of wisdom, a concept, a sentiment, a theory, and maybe even a rant from one of your industry colleagues. For the record.
Hey, Carm Capriato here from Remarkable Results Radio and the Town Hall Academy. Welcome to For the Record number 9 with Jody DeVere, CEO of Ask Patty. You know, For the Record brings you personal insights from your industry colleagues. It's a short yet focused opportunity for a rhapsody, a rant, or an opine. Jody DeVere from Ask Patty has a lot to say about the biases that exist in the automotive industry toward women. The views and opinions expressed are those of my guest and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the author, sponsors, associates, or affiliates of LSTN Media, LLC. For the Record is sponsored by the huge content library of short-form interviews from Remarkable Results Radio and the Town Hall Academy. They are all great lessons from your own industry colleagues. Very much conversations worth hearing. Find the talking points and links to Jody's previous episodes at remarkableresults.biz/F009. Now, let's listen to Jody DeVere for the record.
My name is Jody DeVere, and I am the CEO of AskPatty.com, automotive advice for women, and I also have a certified female-friendly program for automotive retailers to learn how to communicate more effectively with women. About 5 years ago, I actually helped co-found a Women in Automotive conference. Some of it was out of frustration of the lack of women coming into our industry. Only 26% of all employees in all roles, including manufacturer in automotive, are women. And many of those women are in low-level positions. In fact, the women in actual leadership positions is a really teeny tiny percent. And I have been working along these lines in my role with the Women's Automotive Association International, the Women in Auto Care, WIN, which is the Women in Collision, and SEMA, the SEMA Business Women's Network. In fact, pretty much I support all the women's organizations, but still we're not getting traction. And so the last 2 years, as I have mentored, sponsored, and listened to other speakers and gotten many inputs, I really realized that our industry still has a bit of a malaise for women as a very testosterone-laden, sexist, somewhat dangerous place to work. And in the era of Me Too and Time's Up, we as an industry really need to overcome some of these behaviors, even if it's unconscious behavior or unconscious bias, to allow more women to feel welcome and to have a better reputation. This is, I'm not ranting about an accusation. I believe we can all agree that these are facts for us. And I've been really looking into this. In fact, I took an 18-month-long course in social justice for women, which related around to have more understanding and be a better person to talk to and answer questions and understand some of the background and the history on why this has occurred and why we all, including myself, in fact, the first thing I found out about a month into the course that I was guilty too of perpetuating sexist attitudes in our industry. So this issue of why it's difficult for women to be attracted, to get hired, and to develop successful careers is partially due to we all have bias and hidden bias. And after I had been about a month into this course, I realized that I was guilty too. So I can say that I have been part of the problem in the past, but I have woken up. And some of those things could be very subtle, like restating things like, you know, you got to be a special kind of tough woman to work in this industry. Or, you know, you got to have a tough skin to work in this industry as a woman. Or things like, oh, well, that's just locker room talk. You got to learn to have a sense of humor and blow it off. And I had, in my past, not so recent past, there are some of these statements that I either said myself or let go by. And I don't want to get militant about this because we all have our biases. I was just in a situation last night where a conversation came up about someone was leaving the company and they needed to have someone take care of a party, event. And they all said, well, the women can take care of that. Well, that's not. And I said, well, what about the guys? They can't take care of that. And so these are very subtle types of things that we can address. In fact, I've started training on this and helping companies understand their hidden bias to help them be more effective in attracting, hiring, and retaining. And of course, I teach that in terms of consumers, attracting women as consumers, but how you are in one way is how you are in all ways. And so to have a gender parity in your organizations and also to have the right type of conversation going on in the shop, in your organization, because your customers are in the waiting room overlooking it, are important clues to really this issue. It also prevents lawsuits to have good information about gender parity and women's issues that revolve around Time's Up specifically, because that's more employment related, and to really educate yourself. And so I encourage our industry to think about these things, have conversation, good, healthy, constructive conversation. And if you'd like, reach out to me, because I really feel that I've grown in my knowledge base and that I can be of help to companies that might be struggling with some of these issues. We want more women to come and stay and become part of our organizations and leaders. Many larger companies actually are hotly trying to recruit women, and shops too, and women just don't apply for the jobs. I hear that quite a bit. And so we have a responsibility as an industry to change that malaise that is over us all, including the women. And I call out the women, that we women are just as complicit at times as the guys in making it an unfriendly place for women to want to shop and work. And we need to do a better job in working together, men and women, to improve the reputation of our industry for all consumers, but specifically women, because they spend so much money with us and are responsible for influencing so much of automotive repair, purchase of tires, for that matter, purchase of cars. So, I want to encourage our industry to take this topic seriously and open more dialogue so we can all learn more, come to a better understanding, and make some immediate changes and then long-term changes in our business culture to allow this growth to take place. And that's my rant. Jody DeVere.
Thanks for listening to For the Record from Remarkable Results Radio. Subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast listening app. Find all Remarkable Results podcast content at remarkableresults.biz. Remember, your learning curve never sounded so good.